Hey friends, welcome back. So today let's start with brush strokes. Let's start our watercolor journey with simple brush strokes with which you can achieve anything. Welcome to my studio, friends. So we are ready to start. Okay, let's go. So, as you all know, I'm going to be using a ceramic plate from home as the palette, and I'm going to use these three tubes, watercolor tubes to start with, and this is how I take out just a little dot of paint onto my palette. So that we can start painting. Okay, so let's get started. Today we are learning basic brush strokes. So for that, let's pick up our brush. I've picked up my number 8. As I said, I use this brush the most, the number 8. We are going to nicely wet the brush so that the water soaks up right up to the furrow, up to the belly. It is nicely wet. Take out any extra. It shouldn't be dripping wet. And let me pick up this Crimson Lake, which is basically a pink red color, pink sort of a cool red we call it. So you must notice how I'm using the color. I'm not mixing up the whole of the dot that I took out. I just touch my brush there, bring it to another place and mix a little. This is how we should be using watercolor, because a little paint mixes up into an ink sort of consistency to be able to paint in watercolors. Alright, so for now I'll be just putting this on the side so that my hand has a little bit of maneuverability. I'm going to just move this aside also. Let us just start putting some lines here. We have to get to know the brush. See that? Try to get a nice smooth line. I'm just dipping my brush into the water and running it. See, look at that. It should be, if I can explain to you correctly, it should be of ink consistency. It shouldn't be of a paste consistency like we use in many other painting mediums like oil and acrylic, where we are using the color more like a paste consistency. This is more watery, you can say like tea consistency, or you can say ink consistency. That is how it should be. Alright, so you saw this was my broad stroke. Let us try some thin strokes. I'm again picking up a little color, and now I'll be putting my brush at 90 degrees and just touching only the tip. Here I will drag to draw thin lines. So that is my thin lines. So with this brush I'm able to get the thick and thin lines. Now let's go over to some more brush strokes which will be really convenient for us to start our journey in watercolor. Let's do some hash sort of things. Can we do this? Yeah, same thin lines but shorter lines. I'm just putting few short lines like that. All right, okay, shall we go for some thick and thin lines, how we can maneuver our brush to get in one stroke thin as well thick lines, or you can say how to go from thick to thin lines. That's what we'll try. When we press the brush to its full, we are able to get thin line, and as we pick up it becomes thin. Do you see that? And in doing that we are getting sort of a leaf shape. See, we are starting thin, putting the brush flat, then letting all the all the bristles gather to a point while picking up. So this is a great brush stroke that we use a lot when we are painting loose florals. We can paint petals and leaf using this stroke. Lot of other maneuvers we can do, like this is good for your brush handling skills. You can do some wiggle lines. This practice will help you a lot in learning brush maneuverability. Okay, let us do some thick lines like that. You can do like this, coming back to thin, to thick, to thin, like this. Now I'm going to show you a stroke which is used a lot in brush calligraphy. This practice will really help you with brush calligraphy if you're interested. See, we'll go up thin, down thick, up thin, down thick, up thin, down thick. See, you would notice when I am kind of lifting up the brush to be able to touch only the tip, it is going as thin lines, and as I am coming down to make it thick, I am pressing the brush down to become broad. See it again, and yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this. If we practice these brush strokes, I think we'll be able to paint just about anything. So I hope that was useful. So today we learned some basic simple brush strokes to continue our watercolor learning journey. If you're new to this channel, please do subscribe so that we can continue our journey together. And if you want to see the previous, you can check out the previous video for all the basic material that we need to start our watercolor journey. It's a wonderful medium, just hop on. We'll have fun.